Kevin Arnovitz from NBA writer, ESPN.com, kind enough to join us for a couple moments on this Friday. Kevin, thanks for a couple moments. I know it's a busy time. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well, and let's jump right into it. All right, surprise last night with the move by the Timberwolves and the Chicago Bulls, the Timberwolves acquiring Jimmy Butler. What was your first reaction to that?
Like, surprised but not shocked. I think Chicago this week made the determination that they were going to try to move on. I mean, I would have liked a better package for them, and I suppose, where you come down on that package is how you feel about two really polarizing players in Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine. And I'm tepid on both. And, I would have liked to have seen Chicago keep that other pick and just, get one back from Minnesota without having to forfeit theirs. So, but I'm also, in a certain sense, I've never been on team we need to move Jimmy Butler, but I think at least I'm pleased for Chicago that they finally made a determination about the future. Because what they put together and assembled last year on the floor was atrocious. And it neither addressed – look, I think you can play for now and sacrifice the future, or play for future and sacrifice now. But being mediocre in service of veterans, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, they were a team that was going in neither direction last year. And so for that standpoint, it's great. I mean, I don't know why the big hurry. I mean, they do have 2 more seasons. And I just fail to believe that a better deal doesn't materialize, but I think the draft is very much where you can assemble transactions. But I would have liked to have seen them got a little more. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's good.
When you see what Minnesota was able to get up to acquire Butler, and then you look at the Boston Celtics, are you surprised the Celtics weren't a player or a serious player for Butler?
I think they probably were a serious player. I applaud their patience. I don't know a team that has been able to stage the kind of turnaround they have as fast as they have, keep the organizational philosophy intact, continue to get better, that has taken more abuse than the Boston Celtics. And it's a little strange to me. I mean, they added a really great wing creator they desperately needed last night. They still hold an incredible trove going forward. It's not like today is the last day great players are going to be available. And so I've just kind of been confounded.
It is amazing. People treat this team that won 53 games and they lose Thomas during the playoffs and they're the top overall seed. Granted, Cleveland kind of took a sleptwalk the last month or so, but still 53 games is 53 games. You win that amount of games, you're doing something right, and they've got a bright future. It seems as though the sentiment is the Boston Celtics, as crazy as it sounds, they're going to be stuck in neutral, and I don't believe that's the case. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about the Celtics thing is, look, I think part of, you mentioned Cleveland, and I think they're a big factor here, which is, where is your window?
Yep.
Now, there's some management theory people in the league that reject the notion of windows. That you do your thing, and when you try to chase windows, that's how you get in trouble as a franchise. You ignore opportunities for the future if you focus purely on the present, and vice versa. And I get that, and I've heard compelling cases, but I do think that the Celtics are very cognizant of the state of their conference at a moment in time, and while LeBron is supreme, I'm not saying they're not punting. I think they feel like, but let's always preserve future flexibility and future assets, knowing that this thing can happen. At any time, something can happen. And, we don't need to push all in now. I mean, the league is not going – they won't – it's not like there's a Jimmy Butler today and a Paul George today. Guess what? There'll be 2 guys. There's always going to be a superstar you can go get. There's always going to be a great top 5 pick you can go get. There's always going to be, salary dumps you can either take on or give off. I just think I respect their patience. And it's not like they're missing windows. They still have probably the best chance at a top pick next season, in next year's draft. And they've got another one that is guaranteed to either 2 through 5, or Sacramento, who's not going to be very good in 2019, their top pick. So, this notion that they have to move, that somehow the clock is ticking on the Celtics, is absurd to me. And I don't know why they're getting the abuse they are. And I don't say this as a Celtics honk. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta. I mean, I hating the Celtics. But I just don't get this this insistence that somehow they're missing these opportunities.
A couple more quickies for you because I know we're tight on time. It was pretty clear and evident that Ball was going to go number 2 to Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, his father, LeVar, the mouthpiece, proclaiming, "Hey, this team's going to make the playoffs." Hey, listen, that's fine. You know, all well and good. I get it. You're branding, you're marketing. Fine. That being said, Magic is going to give this young man the keys to the car. When I say there's a bullet on his back and a bullseye, you know, do you see him struggling at all, or do you see him coming right away, coming in, flourishing a little bit? Yeah, there's going to be some growing pains, but how much pressure is it on him to come in and try to turn the Lakers not into an instant winner, but just more of a competitive team?
Yeah, I mean, look, rookies rarely help. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but statistically, they just rarely help you win basketball games, even when they're really good. Look, I think pressure is a self-imposed thing. And will there be a lot of attention? Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of attention. I do think he's going to have a long runway, which is great. I think he's a really special player. I mean, you know, one of the, not to say sad, but one of the things that's been lost in all this is just how unique a skill set this guy has. I mean, like, just his passing, you know, his greatest skill might be the most fundamentally unselfish skill there is, which is passing, making play for others. So while his father is an attention whore, and by the way, honestly, I don't mind it either way. Like I'm actually agnostic on the matter.
I hear you. I understand that.
Like I you know what? I like a little showmanship. I like what Russell. I mean, I think the
got to back it up though.
The sport. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I think showmanship is good. This is sports. This isn't public policy here. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, he's an attention whore, and I don't think he would reject the label. But I also think that he's a wonderful, unique player. He's not a traditionally pick-and-roll player in a league that now is, hey, dynamic point guard, top of the floor, pick, burst. But I love that. He's got an awkward but very effective shot. He's a really unique player, and I'm kind of excited to get to watch it. I don't think he's going to help immediately because it's very hard to help immediately as a rookie. But I think, yeah, they're high expectations. Now, if that translates into pressure, that's really him. But they're high expectations in a big market that's very hungry to turn this thing around. I mean, living in Los Angeles, I can tell you, like, you know, they're getting restless. It's,
right.
You know, there was a concession that, okay, Kobe's last few years were sort of taking out a mortgage.
Sure.
You know, we're going to stop. But, you know, now I think everybody's ready. But, yeah, there'll be pressure. There'll be expectations.
And they probably got a little more juiced after watching the 30 for 30 with the Lakers and the Celtics. I'm just curious. Last one for you. When you look at the players, Fultz and Ball and Tatum and Jackson and Fox and Monk, I mean, in your estimation, what player do you think? And I know you mentioned it's hard for rookies to come in right away and help turn around a team, but what player, in your estimation, will have that immediate impact?
De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox with Sacramento for this reason. I mean, he's got flaws in his game. He's raw, young, like all of them. It's just been having spent some time up there last season to work on something, it is just a terrible morale team for so many years. It is just a franchise that cannot get out of its own way. It has a leadership vacuum. And all of a sudden you bring in a dynamic, confident, like a kid who people love playing with, who wants to take the responsibility, who's not like, oh, Sacramento, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
I imagine getting drafted, you know, and just wants to embrace it. And the great thing is now there's no one in his way.
Right.
He can come in, he can set a tone. So they're going to be terrible, by the way. I mean, they're going to lose 60 games. But the point is it starts there, right? Like, let's get Sacramento off the top of the list of most dysfunctional NBA teams. And I think that's going to happen. And so in that respect, that's why I love the Fox pick for them. They're going to be terrible, but now they can finally turn the corner and just kind of create an entirely new identity.
All right, about 30 seconds before I let you get out of here. As far as Porzingis with the Knicks, and the Knicks go with the French kid, and you know maybe it was a little bit of Phil Jackson just trying, I don't want to say put Porzingis in his place. I thought it was been ridiculous. I know how much they were asking for. I just think you build around this kid, and what hurt his growth, I think, is when you have guys in Melo and Rose that are just me guys and stat guys. But how about the state of the Knicks going forward with Phil Jackson? I mean, you just look at the franchise and you say to yourself, what the hell's going on over here?
I don't know why he wants the job. And I say that respectfully. He'll be the greatest coach of our lifetime, arguably. But I don't know why he wants the job. Like, what exactly is he trying to accomplish?
Well, he's cashing a check is what he's doing.
Well, no, if that's the answer, I mean, I think you have to sort of ask yourself as a franchise, like, what's going on here? Like, is there any adherent to real principles? And I'm not talking about the triangle, which is strategy. That's different. I'm talking about, is there an organizational principle about what we value, about, is there real leadership going on there? Like wearing a hat with an X on it isn't leadership. I mean, congratulations, you won 10 championships. And I mean that. Congratulations. It's unrivaled. It may never be matched. But at the end of the day, like that's not leadership.
No.
Influence isn't leadership. Achievement isn't leadership. Leadership is leadership.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what he's trying to accomplish. And it's not. I don't want. Look, it's funny. Like, I'm not a Melo guy. He's just not my kind of ball player. Melo's not the problem here. Like by all accounts, like Melo's actually was somewhat a little jump in his step when Porzingis turned out to be a really good.
Yeah, no doubt. I kind of turned back the fountain. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I agree 100%.
You know what? And that and that's maturity. I mean, that's Melo saying, "Hey, I can't do it by myself." I mean, I'm not going to make him out to be hero of the year, but I don't what. If the answer is why do you want the job is the paycheck, like, you're doing it wrong as a franchise.
I agree.
It's just, I mean, it's just like, I don't know why he wants the job. He's got plenty of money. Malibu is a far nicer place to live than Manhattan, in my opinion. I am a West Coaster, but like, what are you doing? Like, would you really want the job? If not, I mean, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, listen, when we find out, I'll call you first and foremost. If I find out, you'll be the first one to know, because it's absolutely killing me watching this type of product on the floor. It's horrible. It's painful, but that'll be a story for another day. Listen, I know I got to let you run. I appreciate you jumping on board for a couple moments, and we'll certainly talk throughout the summer. Good insight today. I appreciate it.
You got it.